Happy New Year, people! When covering the worst games of 2025, whoever would have known that the worst game of 2026 would be announced at the end of it. Highguard is going to be available to play soon, and things aren't looking good for it. A lot of people are mocking it, some people are defending it. Particularly some game journos are getting pissy when you're even slightly tethered to reality and thought it was perfectly fine when Jeff went up there and tried to pretend that this game was anything other than the same boring, blandest, most painfully generic, played out shooter that people got sick of 8 years ago when Battleborn was pre-born and before it was stillborn. What does this game offer that's actually original? You can destroy walls! Is there anything in this game that makes it stand out from other hero shooters? You can ride on mounts! In what ways is this game actually going to push the genre forward? It's probably no secret to anyone that the industry is an incestuous club, so when Jeff was giving this game the kind of glazing he saves for Kojimbo, most of these people probably meant it. Jeff announced this game at the end of the Game Awards promising,
with the hopes of pushing the shooter genre forward,
calling this a new breed of shooter should give you grounds to sue on false advertising. This game is so unoriginal, even the name's a rip-off of Overwatch. Someone probably tried to leak this and no one cared. This game looks like it was made by the same kind of toxic positivity that shut out Concord. This ex-IGN guy has a problem with people judging the game from a trailer. You know, what a trailer is meant to do. But let me tell you something about IGN. It's like every other three-letter organization out there in the sense that you never truly leave.
But Zeta, you rapscallion! Don't you know, bucko, that gamers have been threatening to shoot my family with a crossbow?
Do some people take it too far? Sure. But someone has to tell these people the harsh truths and they won't do it to themselves. Besides, it's not like there'll be any lasting consequences if any of these games fail. These people will always find a way to fail upward into some other dog shit company and start the process all over again. Which brings me to Wildlight Entertainment. We were promised that because these were the people who worked on good games like Titanfall and Apex Legends, that this would blow our dicks off. And it's true that about 60 of the hundreds of people who made those games founded the new studio. But you know who else is on the team? The gameplay engineer for Concord.
pushing the shooter genre forward.
This is like handing the captain of the Costa Concordia the keys to a new ship and not consider he'll crash it into the coast because he was doing coke off his concubine's crack. I have to admire the sheer balls to put Concord on your work history. If I was them and asked to explain the 8-year gap, I would have said I went to jail for killing a family of 4 before confessing to have been anywhere close to that disaster. I would try and go into the character designs and break down why they're bad and the poor design techniques, but just look at them. I mean, come on. The only decent looking character is the one they recycled from their previous game. Every character in this game looks like they're trying not to break their mewing streak.
Pushing the shooter genre forward.
Never trust when someone advertises with, from the makers of. This game could have been made by the Office Donut Boy for the people who actually made Titanfall 2, and they would be technically correct. The second point is that sometimes people fall off. People who once made great games lose their way. Look at Cliffy B. He went from testosterone-pumping, red-blooded American man to this after making Lawmakers. Concord failed because they tried to pour money into a game no one wanted to play, to an oversaturated market, boring gameplay and ugly-ass characters, and got the studios shut down after burning 400 million big ones. Didn't they learn from the real Concord? Marvel Rivals managed to squeeze its toned glutes into this tight market because they gave you the option to play that game one-handed. They've even been turning their male characters into hot women these days. Marathon's actually taken feedback and actually totally didn't fire the guy behind the plagiarism scandal, and Splitgate 2 flopped for the second time this year. Meanwhile, Wildlight Entertainment took a look at all this and did the business equivalent of eating Tide Pods. Here's a tip. If you don't have over 1,000 entries on Rule 34 a day after announcing a new character, then hang it up.
pushing the shooter genre forward.
Now, there are some people saying that the backlash against this game wouldn't be nearly as high if they hadn't glazed its whole like Krispy Kreme. You get people all hyped up for Titanfall 3 and are then surprised that they don't like that they're being served another hero shooter. If you promise someone a luxurious buffet and then deliver them prison food, you're gonna have problems. Every major publisher has a hero shooter. Sony was trying to make several until, and you had the opportunity to self-publish without an evil publisher trying to fuck everything up, without shareholders wanting immediate payment, and you don't make a passion project, you don't make a reasonably priced single-player game, you don't make a big community-focused game, you decide to make first-person Paladins, Fantasy Overwatch, Concord, and Ozempic. That does pose the question, where did they get the money for the up to $1 million payment for the slot? With the amount of failed hero shooters and other bad games no one ever wanted, the industry has lost more money than Tim Walls. Only thing I'm willing to give Highguard is that it just looks boring. Not the assault on all the senses that Concord was. The gameplay doesn't look slow to a crawl, and they don't seem to already have a fucking cinematic universe set up like Concord did, and it probably didn't cost $400 million. What I can tell you is that this dislike ratio is a bad omen for the game's success.
Pushing the shooter genre forward.
And you see, I've been drinking some brain-powered juice recently, and I've awakened my inner eye. And I can see the future. It's coming. I can see the fate of Highguard. Gaze into the future and see the future of Highguard. Thanks for watching. If you want more garbage pumped directly into your eyeballs, then drop a like or a sub. We've got more big content coming in big 2026, so stay tuned.